Well, hello, Facebook and YouTube land. I am Steve Levitt. This is the Thrive Live show. We do live. We try to do it live every Thursday afternoon at this time, 1:30 Mountain Standard Time, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. And today's topic is a touchy one. Today's topic is one about sexuality and what is normal and healthy among all couples across the board. Let me define the segment that I'm speaking to today. This doesn't fit with people that are dating. This doesn't fit with newlyweds. This won't fit. This isn't going to matter to you guys. Yes, a lot. This doesn't fit with a lot of you guys. What it does fit with is couples that have been married typically 3 to 5 years, past 3 to 5 years, or after 1 or 2 kids. Once you've gotten past 1 or 2 kids or 3 to 5 years, this is where couples start. This is where couples start facing the bedroom issues. I'm a marriage counselor. Again, my name is Steve Levitt. We're rockyourfamily.org if you want to know more about us. But this doesn't fit the average couple. Now, if you're on here on Facebook and you want to interact, I can see your comments. If you don't want me to know who you are, then don't click on the link that gives me permission to see your name. But like somebody said, hello, Steve, Stephen. I don't know who that is. You'll need to go back out and come back in, but you got to click on the link out there where the broadcast is being broadcast and give me permission to see who you are. I want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys to interact with me today and really ask those tough bedroom questions that you wouldn't ask anywhere else. So this fits best for couples, married couples, not dating couples, not you've been together this long, married couples, 3 to 5 years or 2 or 3 kids in. This is the bulk of people who go to counselors, and this is the bulk of people I've worked with. 4,000 clients in my career so far, over 30 years. I've studied this extensively. What is normal? And the reason why I asked that question, what is normal in the bedroom? And there's no exact normal, but at least what are averages. The reason why this is important is because couples come to me all the time. They're upset, they're frustrated with each other, and they're frustrated with each other about the bedroom. And the thing that makes them frustrated about the bedroom is the husband will say, my wife is a cold fish. She doesn't try. She never cares anymore. There's something wrong with her. She has psychological issues. She needs to get counseling, whatever it is. It goes on and on about what's wrong with the wife in the bedroom. And the wife will say, my husband's a pervert. My husband, all he wants to do is all he ever thinks about is sex. All I am to him is a body. Things like that. When in fact, probably you and your spouse are normal. That's why we were going to talk about what's normal. How often do couples have sex? What kind of sex do they have? What is their what locations do they have sex? What do they like to do, not to do? What is normal in the bedroom? And couples don't talk about this. So we're going to talk about it. It's unfortunate that nobody talks about this because it's destroying and killing marriage after marriage, not to mention kid after single kid, right? So, all right. Jen says it's still a work in progress. You bet. Thanks for sharing, Jen. So what are the normals? First of all, what is normal? By the way, if you're watching, this is also going out on TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok and this isn't normal for you, then okay, that's fine. What I do whenever I do something like this is I get a whole bunch of angry feedback from people, and a massive amount of angry feedback. That's not me. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I've done this for 30 years, 4,000 clients. I've studied the book after book after book, and I know what I'm talking about on this subject. So we're going to talk about it. What is normal? First of all, what is normal is that men have a higher sex drive than women. In a group of, say, 20 couples, I'll have one couple, maybe two, that are reversed, where the women want sex more than the men. But by and large, for the most part, men to a huge degree want to be intimate more than their wives. That's normal. That's what the average couple is like. It doesn't mean you're wrong or bad if you're not normal. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you're not normal. That's all that means. And it's okay to not be normal. So the first platform we have to lay here is that it's normal that men desire sex more than women on average. All right. So there's the first normal thing we're going to talk about. So do you guys want to give me a guess here? How often does the average normal couple have sex? How many times a week or month does the average couple have intimacy? Somebody want to guess? Going once, going twice. What do you think the average is, the normal average? Come on, somebody give me a guess here. 3 times a week we have, 5 times a week, somebody says, every 3 months, 5 times a week, 3, somebody says 3, somebody just says 3 times a week, 3 times a month, somebody says, 3 times a week, every day, 2 to 3 times a week. All right. So got a lot of good guesses here. Here's the thought. Let me tell you what the average is, then I'm going to tell you the number. The average, the reason why most couples work into a certain pattern, there's one number that came up most here with everybody else. And there's a reason for that number. And the reason why is because a man, an average normal dude, has a sexual cycle. And that sexual cycle is about release. Whenever a man has release, he has relief. He feels better. He's relieved. His body relaxes. His mind relaxes. His body has release. And once he's had release, his body begins to replenish the fluids that just got released. It is whenever that fluid bucket gets full is whenever a man's body is triggered into really wanting to have sex again and release again, right? That fluid buildup inside of him, which triggers him to want to have release again, happens about every 3rd day. Once there's a release, after about 3 days, he's really itchy and wanting to have sex again. He's asking or showing signals to his wife that he wants to have release again. And so most couples figure out that if they have sex about every 3rd day, sometimes every other day, every 2nd day, sometimes every 4th, or maybe even every 5th day, if they'll stay on that cycle, and this happens for men for most of their lives, that everybody stays happy. He's much more content. He's not bugging her. He's not grumpy, whatever it is. Because a man is physically uncomfortable, not just mentally, not just a pervert. He's physically uncomfortable with this feeling he has inside and his body telling him he needs release. He wants to be intimate with his wife. He wants to be connected and intimate and get that release that happens. So most couples end up about every 3rd day, 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes once a week. But that's what's average and normal among most couples. Surprising to you guys? Feel like that's a surprise, or a lot of you are going to go, yep, that's about what it's worked out to for us. So the next one's a little bit touchy. What is normal? What is normal? Let me back up just a minute. Let me tell you another issue that couples deal with, and it's the woman not having sexual desire. It is normal for a woman to, after 2 or 3 kids, or 1 or 2 kids, after 3 or 4, 5, 6 years, that she will lose random sexual desire. She doesn't just randomly feel aroused and want to have sex very often. Occasionally, maybe. What she'll usually want, if she's wanting to have sex, is she's wanting connection. It's not about I'm aroused, so I want sexual release. It's about that I want connection with my man. I want to feel connected. I want to feel pretty, So I want to turn him on and see that I can still turn him on. I want him to desire me. And so women will tend to shift into that mode of sexuality, not like a man. A man will keep his sexual desire, a random arousal for a man. But a woman typically shifts into her desire, becomes more about wanting connection, to feel loved, to feel pretty, to feel pursued, things like that. And that's normal. Men want women to have random arousal. It's not going to happen. That's not how most women function later on down the road. So you have to be okay with that. Because of this, during dating and engagement, you have lots of endorphins, lots of chemicals flowing, and infatuation flowing. Therefore, you're much more wanting to do things and be more creative. And a lot of things happen, romance and sex happen during those years. And now you compare it whenever you're 10 years down the road. Well, you used to do this. You used to do that. You used to buy me flowers all the time. You used to do this for me. Yeah, you used to be, all over it in bed and really like it in bed. And all of that tends to go away after you hit the wall 3 to 5 years into marriage, and you no longer are trying to catch that person. You feel like they're caught. So the endorphins wear off, the infatuation wears off, and people calm down in those areas. That's actually normal for a marriage and a healthy marriage. So what about oral sex? Lots of misunderstandings here, misunderstandings about this one. Men grow up thinking that that's going to be a huge part of the bedroom. And unfortunately, it doesn't stay a huge part of the bedroom. What is normal is that most women don't want to do that. Most women are not interested in that. Most women are actually kind of grossed out or don't, it's just kind of gross and unpleasant for them to give or receive oral sex. Most men want that. What's normal is most men want that both ways a lot, all the time if they could. But most women are uncomfortable with it. So I would say most couples, from what I've derived from doing sex therapy for a lot of years, is about once or twice a month. That usually happens one way or the other for most couples. That's what's about average for most couples, once or twice a month. And usually that is her tolerating it at best and him really glad about it. So just so you know what the normals are there. I believe that it's perfectly fine and good. The more a woman wants to do that or a couple wants to do that, even better. It's very intimate and connecting. There's nothing wrong with it. It's excellent. It's great. I even believe biblically that we see in the Song of Solomon in chapter 3 or chapter 4 during the honeymoon that Shulamite, the female in the story of the Song of Solomon, there's Solomon and his wife Shulamite. I believe that the wife Shulamite asked Solomon to perform oral sex on her in the Bible. So it's even a biblical concept. And then right after that, God blessed their union. God said, good job. And so I totally fine. People ask me all the time, well, what is permissible and not permissible in the bedroom? Well, first of all, nothing should be permissible that both of you aren't in agreement on. That it has to be that both of you are comfortable and in agreement. I believe oral sex is fine. Any creativity you want to do is fine. Any fun or playful things you want to do is fine. What is not permissible are things you already know. Most people would already know what I think is not healthy or right in the bedroom or biblical or Christian in the bedroom. And that would be obviously pornography. There's no place for that in a marriage. For one, I believe that obviously not bringing anyone else into that process that's wrong, should not happen. And I also believe that anal sex is unacceptable. It's not the way it was designed. It's unhealthy, I think, in the end, very unhealthy for marriage. So other than that, you have full permission to do whatever you both like and want in the bedroom. There's no real holdbacks on that. What is normal is that most couples, most of the time, do the same things over and over again. It's almost often done in the bedroom. Great if it's done somewhere else, kitchen table, whatever, who cares? That's awesome. But it's most commonly in the evening before you go to bed in the bedroom with the lights off and the covers up. That's not really what men prefer. They would love to have it anytime, anywhere, lights on, covers off. They want to see, they want to experience it all. They want to see it. They want to experience, they want to hear, and all that other stuff. Most women in their vulnerability are more comfortable with the lights off and the covers up. And that's normal. She's not messed up, men, that's the way she's most comfortable. Women are more vulnerable. They don't want their bodies inspected. Most of them don't like their bodies. They're uncomfortable with their bodies, and that diminishes their feelings of sexiness. Ladies, let me tell you, the thing that your husband wants more than a perfect body, he doesn't care how just right your body is. This is true. It's not about that. What he wants is for you to desire and pursue him, to like being there, to want to be there, and to feel sexy and to act sexy towards him. Sexy is what turns a man on the most. Not a perfect body, not just the right moves or knowing all the stuff. It is sexy. He wants you to feel and act sexy towards him and to pursue and desire him. So, but most couples end up in the bedroom at night, lights off, covers up. A lot of ladies don't even want to take their t-shirt off, and men wish you would, things like that. But that's normal. I'm telling you what is normal in the bedroom. All right. Most couples narrow it down to 2 or 3 positions. There's as many positions as you want is great, but most couples end up narrowing it down to a few positions. Him on top, her on top, maybe from behind or scissor style, a couple of things like that. Nothing creative. And 90% of the time, that's what they do over and over again. And that's good. About 50% of women have orgasms during sex. Men almost always have an orgasm, about 50%. But I think most women can have an orgasm if everything goes right, meaning that there's plenty of foreplay. Men, you've got to take time. It takes a woman on average 10 to 20 minutes of foreplay to be ready for sex. It takes a man 8 seconds to be ready for sex, just so you know. We're a microwave and a bag of popcorn. We're ready to go. But women are a crock pot. It takes them a long time. It takes much patience and stimulation in the right places. And once a woman is highly stimulated, then intercourse happens. And once intercourse happens, hopefully through the pelvic friction that happens between a man and a woman, she's able to reach orgasm. And it's about 50% for women, but that could be higher if everybody's doing their job right. Ladies, you got to tell him what you need. You got to tell him what you want. You got to tell him what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Men, you got to ask. Don't do what you want to do what she wants you to do. The best love making in the bedroom happens whenever 2 people are there to please the other person, not to just be pleased. Enter into the bedroom with the desire to please your spouse. And ladies, men are fine with that. Ladies, you've got to want to be pleasured. You've got a desire to be pleasured. All right. Covered that. We covered vulnerability. There are a lot of other reasons why women may struggle in the bedroom. It feels very vulnerable. Men, I want you to hear me on this, men. For a woman to enter into the bedroom and to be intimate, it's unfathomably more intimate and vulnerable than for men. Women have to expose themselves. They have to be receiving. They get inspected. They get invaded. It's a very vulnerable experience for a woman. So, men, we have to be very cautious and aware of her vulnerabilities to try to force or push or women will retreat quickly because it's such a vulnerable experience. I think we have to, and that really hinders a lot of women from being able to be comfortable and relax and really enjoy the experience in the bedroom. Certainly, body issues for women are troublesome in the bedroom. If she's uncomfortable with her body, she's going to be uncomfortable being inspected. She's going to be uncomfortable thinking she's unattractive. So that can be a hindrance. Certainly, if there's been abuse or trauma or hurtful things sexually in her past, she's going to have struggles feeling safe and comfortable in the bedroom. So those are all hindrances for women to do well in bedroom. Lastly, a woman may have been raised that sex is just dirty. Bad girls do that. Naughty girls do that. Naughty girls do that thing. Naughty girls do that thing. And women will just feel dirty or used or uncomfortable in the bedroom. As long as the husband isn't contributing to that, women have to work at learning that it's a beautiful thing between a husband and a wife. It's a beautiful thing in the way God intended it to be. So women sometimes have to work past the vulnerability of feeling sexy. Like they feel like that to be sexy is dirty. To be sexy is a naughty girl. And that's not true. Women sometimes have to work past their own childhood beliefs. Maybe what mom and dad, maybe no one taught you anything. It was just that forbidden thing and that dirty thing. So women have to kind of work through that a little bit too. Lastly, I want to talk about what is normal for good, healthy sexual relationships. What is normal for good, healthy, by the way, this is a Christian counseling practice that we have here. I'm a biblical counselor, so I'm coming at all of this from a Christian perspective, but it applies the same across the board. This is still normal for couples who aren't Christians. This is still normal for all couples who have been married past 3 to 5 years, married couples after a couple of kids or 3 to 5 years, what the marriage plays out to be. This is what's normal in most couples. So lastly, it's super important that you set the stage for the bedroom to work well. Women want to feel safe and loved in the bedroom. The way you don't do that in the bedroom, though, men, the way you make a woman feel safe is what you do outside the bedroom. The marriage is a barometer for the bedroom is a barometer for the rest of your marriage. How well you love her and make her feel safe outside the bedroom determines how safe and her potential to love you well inside the bedroom. It's super important, men, that we love our wives well. We're kind, we're gentle, we're servant-hearted to them. We please them outside the bedroom, and that gives them more potential to do well inside the bedroom. If your bedroom isn't working well, it may be that the rest of your marriage isn't working well, and you may have even established or started your marriage on the sex. Like that's what sustained us. We were good in bed. We're good at this. We're good at that in the bedroom. But you never built the emotional, verbal, or spiritual intimacy outside the bedroom. You've got to build good, healthy, safe, trusting, verbal, emotional, and spiritual intimacy outside the bedroom. And that will then translate to give more potential and more safe and trusting feelings inside the bedroom. So, questions or comments? TikTok, I'll answer yours in just a minute. I'm going to finish what I'm doing here on the live broadcast, and then I'll address any questions or comments you have to say on TikTok. So hang on there. Facebook, YouTube, you got any questions or comments? Anybody want to show your name on this subject? It's I know a touchy subject, but it's so important people understand what these norms are and what's healthy and why you might be frustrated with your mate about what's happening in the bedroom. And it happens most of the time. Read any of the books. Look, you can call me a fool all you want, but read any of the books. They all say what I'm saying. They're all sex therapy books, sex specialists. They all say pretty much the same thing I'm saying right here. So Cheryl says, I love that my husband still wants romance after 37 years. Cheryl, that goes a long ways, doesn't it? That your husband still romances you. Men, romance her. Ladies, you want to help him romance you, you pursue him in the bedroom. Those two kind of are a give and take in a marriage. So any other questions or comments? Otherwise, we'll wrap up for the day. I thought this would be a good marriage counseling kind of subject to talk about today. So I hope that It's been a blessing to you. We are rockyourfamily.org. If you need some marriage counseling, you need some help, contact our office, rockyourfamily.org. We do telehealth, phone sessions, video sessions. We do marriage intensives. You can come spend 3, 5, 7, 10 days with us all day, every day doing marriage work. We do marriage retreats. We're going to do another one at the end of September, a retreat where you come out and do a marriage retreat with us. So hopefully this has been helpful to you guys. You're welcome, Jen. You're welcome, Lily. As Maui would say, you're welcome. Glad to help anytime. All right, we're done. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We'll be back again next Thursday at 1:30 for another counseling topic that we can cover. And you can join us back for another Thrive Live next Thursday, 1:30 Mountain Standard Time. Hope you guys have a super terrific, great day. Keep on keeping on. Bye-bye.